Welcome to the video blog. I'm Doug Simon of DS Simon Productions here at Counselors Academy, where we just heard the keynote speaker Stan Phelps deliver his presentation on marketing and differentiation. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Doug.
Great. Now, Stan is also the founder of 9-Inch Marketing, so you had great points about what the 9 inches represent. A couple of things. Why don't you share that?
So nothing personal,
Okay.
unfortunately. Simply the distance between the stem of your brain and the top of your heart. And my view is that marketing is too much about the eyes and the ears and not enough about creating the experiences that reach the heart of your customers and employees.
Great. Now, one of the key points that Stan made is that, interestingly enough, a lot of the factors that drive whether your business is successful or not are out of your control. But there's one key piece that you can control that's separate from, say, the economic conditions, the market for your products, what your competitors are doing. What is that key piece that allows you to differentiate?
That key piece, like a goldfish, is your genetic makeup. So how you're differentiated from your competition. So it's the little things that you do to stand out in what I call a sea of sameness.
Great. Now tell us about the categories of differentiation. Obviously, you cover these in your book, What's Your Purple Goldfish? And I guess a purple goldfish would be different than the other goldfish.
Right. It would stand out. It would be unique. And that's the idea with doing the little things, is that you want to be able to drive not only differentiation, but do things that drive retention for your customers, as well as give them reasons to talk about your product or service. And so you mentioned there's different types. There's 12 different ways that you can do it, and that's because I looked at all 1,001 examples, and that's where they were falling. Half of them are what I call value, and that's more of what you provide, and then the other half are maintenance, and that's how you provide that product or service. And the goal is to be seen as high value and low maintenance. So different types, things like throw-ins, what do you add to your product or service? How can you do a little bit of sampling? How do you make that great first impression? How do you tie into a cause? So how do you pay it forward and give back? And then there are things on the maintenance side of the equation, like how do you follow up or say thank you? How do you be more convenient? How do you deal with things like waiting? How do you handle mistakes? And those are the little ways that you can differentiate yourself.
Yeah, you also cited some research that showed 80% of us business owners believe we provide superior service. Yet I guess it couldn't be more than 50% that that's true for, but the customers have a whole different perspective.
Right. So Bain did a survey. They asked senior leaders, how many of you are providing a superior experience? 80% raised their hand. Only 8% of customers agreed. So there's a huge difference there. And the main takeaway is that a lot of times companies don't have a system where they're continuously looking at the experience and developing a capability that renews that on an ongoing basis.
Right. Now, obviously, we started this conversation strong. You also talk about leaving a strong last impression. So what's your final thought?
I mean, if it comes down to one word, it's more. And that there's no such thing as meeting the expectations of your customer. You either exceed them or you fall short. So given the choice of either exceeding or falling short, this is the choice. Do more.
Great. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Doug.